Welcome back. There's far too much to do, so let's get going. That was actually a lot of work. Many evenings and whatever time I had to play. Yeah, I was gathering resources, putting together the shulker boxes that I was using to hold the materials, just generally trying to make these bamboo farms. So each one of these farms, each module works separately, so I could put as many as I wanted to together, but I wanted them to fire individually, and each one of these large units houses 14 bamboo, and I went ahead and made 14 of these modules. So that took quite a bit, and to get all the materials that I needed, I spent some time going to the shopping district. I did some mining to get redstone, also used the diamonds that I got from mining, and then I got inspired to play around with a mud farm. So this mud farm here, I started off the design by coming up with a method by which I could fill individual bottles instead of having to have just stacks and stacks of bottles to make sure that I never received a bottle that had water in it. Instead, I set up the system so that it just didn't do that in general. It just fills up the bottles that we need, fills up the mine cart down here, and every other section of mud that gets created will shoot that mine cart across and fill in 2 more bottles. The only flaw that I have with this currently is that it does not actually keep up with the system when I'm going full speed. The single hopper right there feeding the minecart is not enough. I would need to double my bottle refilling system, I think. And if I doubled it, I might actually be able to keep up with it. But that's something I can play with in the next time I design it, or if I decide that I need a lot of mud again. For now, it was fine for me to pause in between about every 3 stacks and make sure that the system was fully refilled again. So that made it possible for me to create all the mud that I needed, and then I was able to get a lot of wheat from one of the other players and make all the mud brick. So yeah, that's what I set up there, and I also grew some of my own wheat as well. Just a temporary farm. I'll tear that down later. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did, and all of that to make excessive amounts of bamboo so I can make this floor that I'm standing on. I happily got that finished shortly after I finished making all of these bamboo farms. So my current bamboo needs are completely met. So we'll have to see what I end up doing with it. I've got room for a lot of bamboo to be created, stored, and for me to process. So we'll find something to do with that, or I may end up having to switch that out as being fuel for the super smelter below. So yeah, options. The next thing that I need to work on, and I desperately need to work on it, because once I finish getting the next section of the ship done, I'm going to be to the part that needs a lot of wool. So much wool that I don't think anybody else has set up a wool farm that would suffice for my needs. So I've been playing around with a single module right here. I was kind of trying to play around with it and see if I could come up with a design that wasn't going to have a minecart. If I can skip the minecart, then I won't have the minecart getting stuck in the system and having to reset it manually. As I played with this, this is just a test piece so that I can fire it off. I found a way of causing the trapdoor on the side to delay long enough being open that it should push all the wool off into the honey block over here to be collected by the hopper and just put into the shulker box for now. I didn't really like the system. I don't like the system a whole lot. It's clunky, I think. I did come up with another one. I actually had to go into Creative World and make that. And the next one, I actually made it to use a skulk sensor. And that actually produces a redstone signal long enough to wash the wool out. So what I'm going to do is pull together the resources necessary to do that, and we will get to that next. But before I do that, I also wanted to point out anybody who did not watch to the end of my last video would have missed me putting in the window frames on the back of the ship. I went ahead and finished putting glass in those frames as well. So this was a lot of fun, and what I really like about this is I created a sunrise in the glass colors that I chose. And as I've had people over a few times to my base, they actually failed to realize that it was actually the sun was over there setting and we needed to sleep because they saw this and thought the sun was coming up. So that was a lot of fun. Oh, and there goes a whole bunch of bamboo right now into the system. So that was a lot of fun. I thought it was cool. I'm not the best artist yet, but I thought it was a fun project to do. And I also installed the continuity mod so that I could get the glass to all link together properly, so I didn't have as many little squares. So that's what I got running here. And then what else do I have going on? I'm playing around with the palette that's going to go into the next layer, so I should be able to start that soon. But for now, what I'm going to do is make sure I've got all the resources I need pulled together, and then we're going to start building our sheep farm. And I think I'm going to go right down here and figure out how wide of modules I want to make. Initially, I'm probably just going to be doing white wool, but I can change it out so that I'm doing all the different colors and have them each stored in an individual section with multiple sheep, probably going from this level down here where the storage would be, and then going up to probably where those slabs are right there. And then I'll put kind of a railing just along this section here. So this will be open and be able to look out onto this lower part. And for the most part, I think this is just going to get filled in with sheep along here and along there. So both sides. And I'll probably stop before I hit the front. And I don't know what I'll do with the front, but we'll get there when it's time. So that's the plan. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and gather the resources, and I will catch you here again in a moment. Oh, no, wait. I have another idea. There was something else I wanted to do. So as opposed to just going straight into gathering resources, I finally came up with what I wanted to try out for a design for my armor. Now, I have not looked at anything more than a basic design and the material that I wanted for the highlight. So I'm going to put it together for you guys, and hopefully it looks good, because if it doesn't, I'll have to figure out something else later. But these are armor trims that I found. So let me go ahead and remove my armor, and let's see what it ends up looking like. So we've got our cranial protector, and we're going to do that with the spire armor trim and copper. So that's going to give us that one. And then our shiny pants, those are going to get the sentry armor trim with copper as well. We're just going to stick with copper because I like the color, and I think it goes well enough with my outfit. And then our comfy slippers, we're going to give those the dune armor trim, and again with that copper. And then we're just going to put all these on, and we can see the little me right there. I think that looks pretty good, actually, considering I just put it together. And of course it's getting dark, so here it is in the dark. Let me go sleep, and then we can look at it in some better lighting. And I really need to set up a better spot for sleeping, because I'm still in the same spot down below deck, all the way down here, which is getting a little annoying, having to run all the way down here in order to make it day again. But it is what it is for now. We'll get something hopefully set up here soon, probably after I get the next layer of the boat installed. So, oh, and of course now it's going to rain, but it's a little bit brighter, so we can take a closer look anyway. So you can see we got the little bit of style on the sides of the helmet here, and on the back it's got a little swoop. So I kind of like that, and I was using some trims that were put together by Baldy over in his base. He has a display of them all, and just kind of going back and forth and looking at them and going, oh, I think that piece will go with this and this with that and whatnot. So yeah, I kind of like it. I think that'll work well for me. So yeah, that was what I kind of wanted to get done with you guys. And now I'm going to go and definitely get those resources together, because I have a lot more farms to make. So we will be right back. All right, so I went ahead and took a look at the design I had done with the skulk sensors, and it takes up less space, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and go with that design. I check the resources that I have. I have what I need to at least get started building this potentially massive sheep farm. Um, I'm not sure how big I'm going to end up making it ultimately. I took a look at space requirements, storage, kind of planned it out where I could have a large array per color of sheep. So I could fill this section, that section, and those two sections on the other side. And that would give me all 16 colors. But when I did the calculation, that's potentially 448 sheep that I can fit into these spaces, which it's a lot. I have absolutely no idea if I need a sheep production that large. So we're just going to start with this section right here. I'll leave these items in place simply because they're there already. And if I expand, that's the direction I'm going to go. So yeah, right here is where we're going to get started. So if I climb up here and start grabbing some blocks, we can go ahead and start building. And I'm going to go ahead and put away a few extra blocks that I have that I really don't need because those are for a different project or a different part of the project that I'm going to be working on. So what I do need is some grass, some skulk sensors. I have wool to start off, but we'll grab another stack. I will need a water bucket. I will need a honey block for each one that I build. And then observers, comparators, repeaters, note blocks. I think that might be it. One thing I am missing though is, no, I'll save the rockets. Starting to run low on rockets because the ship is just that large that I keep rocketing everywhere, and I think I've got maybe 2 more stacks in my rocket storage, and that's just not going to work. Actually, I don't need a comparator. I didn't use any of those, but I do need to grab redstone torches. And then the thing that I'm actually missing, if I can find the correct box, I need trapdoors. Lots and lots of trapdoors. So we're going to go ahead and make a bunch of trapdoors. And you can see my bamboo design is not perfect. Once in a while we do get some pieces that leak out. Oh, that's full. How about that? So that is probably filling up the hopper behind, and then it will move over to this side. So yeah, still producing lots and lots of bamboo, which is great. We will definitely be happy to have all of that. And there we go. A whole bunch of trapdoors. Probably more than I need for right now, but we'll just work with what we got. Oh, and I think one more thing. I am going to use some wood blocks because, and I'm going to completely forget which one it was. Just the wood blocks, they're unimportant and they just kind of hold in the water, so need a few of those at least. So let's go ahead and go back down and we will get started building our first module. And to do that, if I get this correct and miss my mark, I'm so good at flying, aren't I? I should be able to start here. Normally this would be a grass block. However, because of things, it's not going to be. So we'll just start there. And let's see. I know I'm going to have to tear this out as well. Let's see. This is going to end up being that's going to be a planks. I'm losing my words. And then for the comparator, we're going to need one there and another one. Let's see here. It's going to Not there, but there. I think those are the only 2 blocks I'm going to need to put below to get the project started. And that's simply because I don't have anything else below, and I don't really plan on putting anything down. Well, I'll probably spawn proof this down here, but other than that, nothing else. Is that correct? This is not correct. I am 1 block off. Okay. It's throwing me off. We need there. Good, I have my silk touch shovel. Alright. There. Which means there. And there. Okay. Now, if I have that correct, isn't doing redstone so exciting? I should be able to put the water there behind this trapdoor, and that will hold, which means that what I need here, pointing into that, is going to be that block. And because sculk sensors hear every little thing that we do, we're going to go ahead and I need more torches. So you know what? We're just going to do all of those. Or at least as many as I have stuff for. So because the sculk sensors hear everything, and we're not using calibrated ones because they don't add enough delay, we're just going to go ahead and do this. So, and then that should be at a full delay. That's to give it time, since we're grabbing the same timing on the signals from the sculk sensors. Those are going to, one's going to activate the shears, and the other one is going to activate the water. So we want the shears to fire first and then the water to go. And that's pretty much how the system's going to run. So if I put that there, we're now watching that grass block. So when a sheep eats it, that will be perfect. This one, I think I can just leave it like that. I don't think we need anything special. And then that should be feeding into that block there. I'm missing one more piece. I need my dispenser. Yes, should be a dispenser. And then I always forget, I think I want it to look at me. There, yes, that was it. So we do that and put a block behind it. Now, refilling this dispenser is probably going to be the more interesting part. I don't have it in the design to actually be easy, but maybe I can do it maybe from the back looking in. That, or what I can do is probably put a hopper feeding into it. That should hold back the water. That would be good. So if I put a hopper there, I can put a barrel on top of it. Let me verify that in the design as I go grab the glass that I also forgot to grab. And we're just going to use the same glass that I used in the bamboo farm, simply because I've got a bunch of it. So yes, I can put a barrel and a hopper, and that will give me a way of refilling it easily, or at least quasi easily. And that should not interfere with anything else. It might get depowered once in a while, but that's not going to be a big deal. That block is Oh, never mind. That's not going to work because this block will remain powered most of the time. It should still work because it's going to get, that block will get depowered when that torch turns off, which will allow the hopper to activate and refill it as necessary. Yes. So we can still do that design. And I probably don't have the materials to easily make a barrel right now. I will add that later. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the first module in place. Just for the sake of design. So that's there. That needs to get powered. Does that need to get... Is that block even necessary? Yes, that block is actually for the shrieker, or the skulk sensor that goes there. We put a note block there. Wool block there. And we're going to need one there. 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 Let's see. I think, yes, we need one there to block that one. We have to have an air block above that. I think no, you know what? I think I did this because the wool right here might block that sensor from going, so we just left it just like this. So that should allow everything to be activated. And then we just go there, there. And yeah, that one can activate the note block, but because the note block's normally going to activate it, it's not going to be a big deal. So we'll just stick with this design. Then we put wool on top of that and then cover it up. And now we can walk around freely and we don't activate the skulk sensors. All right. Now our honey block goes across from where the water will go. I need to grab the hopper that I was talking about. And yeah, I'm kind of trapping myself back here a bit. We'll just put a wool block down and we can remove that after. And right here, we put our hopper that will allow us to refill all of the lovely shears. And then we just put glass across the front that will hold the water in, keep the sheep in, and this one just completes the look. Honestly, that's all that that's going to do. So then what we do is we place these bits and pieces. This might get changed out. This is a design in anticipation of being able to run all of the wool down straight into a column and feed it into the storage system below. So that's why that is there. And okay, did I miss anything? Am I going to... Okay, those should be able to go past there. Okay, you can tell I completely designed this knowing where everything is going to end up. Not really. So that is that. That means the next thing we're going to need is to get a sheep in there, which is going to be its own level of fun. And water. So what we can do, we've already got a water bucket, so if we go there, pop that up. And then we need to put shears in there and bring a sheep up. And I think that actually completes the first module. Let me go grab some shears. I don't have any made, so we'll make one. Or one? Yeah, we'll start with one because we've got time. It takes a while to wear out the shears. Oh, I don't even need to go over there. We can create it right there. And then I need, no, I don't need that. I have a lead on the second sheep that I inadvertently brought up. So we'll just grab this sheep. Hello, sheep. You're going to your new home. So this sheep is going to start the full system, assuming that I have everything right and the sheep comes up like I need it to. There we go. Block. There. Bad sheep. Sheep are fun. Not at all. Okay. Sheep. Up. Over. No. Up. No. Oh, yes. The joy of trying to get the mob where we need it. Okay, up. Let's place 2 more blocks. And then we have sheep. Down the hole that goes the sheep. Excellent. Pop that off. We'll collect that as soon as the sheep eats. And we'll throw that in the... That's not where we're going to want it because it's not going to feed in there. Hey. The sheep is probably in the way, isn't it? Tell you what, we'll just put it in there and it should feed into the system. And maybe we'll just have to... No. We'll just wait. We'll wait. It's fine. Trap the sheep in there so it does not escape. And once the sheep eats, it should run. So maybe we'll just wait and see if the sheep will go. It's like watching the grass grow, except we don't really want to. But that's okay. Maybe I should have silenced the sheep. This is going to be a noisy area, and I think we have that mod installed, so I think I can silence the sheep. I'll double check. But especially if we have that many sheep, that might end up being very important. There we go. And voila. And actually the shears made it into the system perfectly. Awesome. So that means that down here we should have my lead and the first wool. Awesome. Well, that is the design that I'm going to be working with. The thing that I really like about this design, one, it doesn't have the minecart going underneath, so nothing's going to get stuck if it gets unloaded. The other part is the second module is actually going to be mirrored to this one and use the same honey block. So I only need enough to push the same design into that. So I don't need as many hoppers because I'm not repeating it for each one. And then also on the back side, I can mirror it as well. So we've got this sheep this way. The next one will be facing the other way, where the water is. And then the back ones will mirror these, which means that these 4 wool blocks that are the back of this module will be the back side of the module over here, with the sheep facing this way, or the glass on this side, so that I could look in from the back side. So I'm probably going to make it so that I can walk around and kind of look at all of them. and that's going to end up being the design for this. So that is the basics of my sheep farm. And with that, I'm going to call it a day, at least for this this episode. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you next time when I will probably have a lot more sheep in place. May or may not get some of that recorded. We'll see. But thank you for joining me. Bye.